What do all moms want besides their children to be happy and healthy and grow up and all that kind of stuff? We want more time and we want more energy. At least I do. So in today's video, I am going to unpack some of the things that I have done recently that have really helped to boost my mood and energy as a busy work from home mom of 3 young children. And I want to share them with you today. But first, I wanted to let you know about an exciting opportunity that is coming up end of February 2023, Feb 28th, March 1st, March 2nd. I'm going to be hosting a free event, a free 3-day workshop all about how to be more confident, to be happier as a mom, to really just enjoy your children, mental health, the skills needed, all this kind of stuff, alongside my friend JESS, who's here on YouTube. You probably know her already. I'll have her channel linked down below. We are going to be discussing all important things in motherhood that have really helped us to be happier mothers. And in being happier mothers, I think we're probably happier people to be around, and therefore our children are happier as well. So it's a win-win for everybody. I would love for you to join me. There will be prizes and goodies and giveaways and all that great stuff. The details are in the description box down below, so make sure you check that all out. And with all of that said, let's jump in to probably one of my favorite topics ever, which is how to hack motherhood and become more energetic, be more confident, essentially. Just not be so tired, right? There's a reason why the hashtag tired as a mother is trending, you know, because it's real life. It's not a joke. So let's jump in. If you're new here, hello, my name is Julie. I have a doctorate in occupational therapy. I am a life coach for moms. I help moms go from feeling overwhelmed or just stuck in whatever they're dealing with to feeling a lot more confident, calm, have a game plan, have a strategy. That's what I help my clients with, whether it's organizing their homes and getting on top of their space so that it works for them and not the other way around, or whether it is finding time in their day so they can work out, so that they can sleep more, so they can break their addiction to their cell phones, whatever it is, I'm here for you. So if you need more input on that, if you want to jump on a call, let me know. The details are down below. And I also have 3 kids myself, 7 and younger. I have a 7, 5, and 1-year-old. So I'm doing this early childhood thing right alongside you. And for that exact reason, that is how this video came to be, because I need the most energy that I can muster, and I'm on a quest, and I'm probably going to be on a quest for the rest of my life. But here are things that I have learned over the last 6 to 12 months that have really moved the needle for me when it comes to longevity, to the way that I feel, to really investing in my health and taking it seriously, because I think for so many years I just let it slide. I always put myself last when it came to health and exercise and fitness, and I've really had to change my relationship with all of those terms and really understand why I'm doing the things I'm doing, because if you don't have a good motivation or good why to do the hard stuff, you'll never do it. Like, let's be real. So I have a whole list here of things that I want to chat to you about, and I just want to talk about why I feel like everyone should be prioritizing their health. Okay, first, it seems obvious, but it needs to be said. If you do not have your health, like if you're not a functional person, nothing else matters. If you have had anyone in your life diagnosed with cancer or some kind of terminal illness, or anyone who's passed away, you realize that all this other stuff, this material stuff, it doesn't matter if you are not able to be here to make use of it, right? And for many of us, most of us, hopefully, we are in a position where we can improve our health. If not for you, do it for all those people that cannot, right? But especially not taking our health for granted. That leads me to longevity. You know, I don't know about you, but I plan to be here as long as possible. My dad has said since I was little that he plans to be on this planet for at least 100 to torment my sister and I, you know, for our whole life. And I hope that is the case. And I kind of plan to do the same. No, I don't know about tormenting, but I do want to live the longest, healthiest life that I can for myself, for my children, for my husband. I don't want to be older and dysfunctional, like just like kind of just like breathing, but not really in this world anymore. I want to be able to engage in society, have a community, be strong and healthy. And so through a lot of research, some of the things that I have realized is how terrible sugar is for you and how it affects me a lot. And I will go into that, and how it directly correlates to my energy. And it might help you too if you know some of these things. And also strength and muscle mass. So the research that I've done and the people that I follow online and just my own medical education, I understand how important muscles and strength are to staying healthy for as long as possible. Because if you know anyone who is elderly, who breaks a hip or gets hospitalized or has to stay in bed for a certain amount of time, they lose muscle mass very quickly and often they never recover. And so even younger people that get sick lose muscle mass very quickly when they are bedridden. But the difference between an older person losing muscle mass and a younger person is that the younger person has more to start with generally, so they can survive, and that's often what helps them through, tough bouts of illness. And it's the same with us. So I'm on a mission to move my body every day. That also helps with energy, but it also helps with longevity, and to be as strong as I possibly can, like within reason. I don't need to go full on bodybuilding. We're just talking about the odd strength workout here and there, but just being functionally strong in my life so that I can maintain this level of health as I age. Okay? It also, when I pay attention to my health and my energy levels, that makes me happy, that increases my mood, that makes me feel a lot better. So I think it benefits my family all around. It also helps me have better self-esteem as a person. Self-esteem is really what I think about me. It's not really about what anybody else thinks about me. And if I feel strong, fit, healthy, good, then I'm much more likely to have, a healthier relationship with my self-esteem. Being energetic, being healthier also helps me with weather challenges, which is not as much of an issue here now in Austin where we are, because we're so south and we get a lot of sun and light for much more time of the year. But I lived in New York for over 10 years. I know a lot of you live in much cooler climates, and when you feel sluggish and you don't feel good in your body, when that seasonal affective depression kind of disorder sets in, those months, January, February, March, whatever it is for you, it's really hard to stay positive and upbeat. And so the better you can look after yourself in the summer months, the better you'll be able to literally weather the colder months. You're also a lot less likely to get sick when you take care of your health, and everybody knows that moms don't have time to get sick. So you are much better at fighting off viruses, your immune system will be a lot stronger. We know all of this, but it's important to say it again until the cows come home, so that maybe something will click for you and you will start to take it more seriously. And then maybe the most important thing, when you take care of yourself, you role model this to your children. I have been shocked by the impact that I have, especially on my 7-year-old, how he absorbs everything that I say. He listens to a lot of what I'm saying and talks about it in his own life. Now, I don't want him to become obsessed around food or fitness or that kind of thing, but it is good for me to teach him healthy, science-backed principles when it comes to health, so that he can go into his life knowing what I have had to learn over many, many years. He has an advantage because he's learning this as a child. So let's jump into some of the things that I have been doing day to day that I feel like are easy enough to start to integrate into your own life to help you see a difference. Okay, so number 1, I try and move every day. So I make it a concerted effort to go out for a walk. Have you ever pushed a stroller up a hill? It's a great workout. So I have a 1-year-old baby right now, she's 1, and she comes in a stroller with us, and we live in a very mountainous, hilly kind of area, which is great. Like, who needs a gym when you have a giant hill to try and walk up? And even walking down is very challenging. My best, if I had to choose, is to go for a walk with my husband or with a friend of mine, and then it doesn't feel like we're working out. But man, you feel it the next day. You know that it's doing something. And I've noticed a lot of people around my neighborhood, they walk sometimes with like sticks or like the poles, I guess is what they're called. It's a really good workout. It's really fun. It also just tackles two birds with one stone, right? Because you're getting outside and you're getting the sunlight and you're just being in nature, which I think all of us could probably do with a bit more. And it's really great to have the fresh air and just the space to talk and work out and exercise. But if I don't do that, I use a Peloton, or I'll do like a strength workout or a yoga workout. I try and not stress about it. I just try and move a little bit every day. I used to be so obsessed with like closing the rings on my Apple Watch, or feeling so guilty if I didn't work out, 5 days in a row, whatever it was. And now I just kind of let it go and I get back on the horse as soon as I can. So when you travel, if there's illness in the family, if one of the parents are away or something like that, it's gonna upset your routine. And my key takeaway is to not let that derail you. Even if you take a week off, even if you take longer than that, all you have to do is just start slowly back again. And the other thing I would say is, I've really started to be more intentional and conscious about exercising consistently. Consistency is the word. I've really tried to be consistent about my workouts. And so I've also noticed that it takes time before I start to see changes. And I think as human beings, we have these really high expectations. We're really impatient when it comes to weight loss or changing your body, or just seeing physical changes or feeling different. And that then sets us up for failure because we just think it's not working, right? But it is working. It's just slow sometimes, but it's not really slow. It's in nature's perfect timing. It just feels slow to us because we're in the instant gratification, impatient world. But if you think about a pregnancy, and I'm assuming a lot of you watching this have had a baby or will have a baby, pregnancy takes time even to show that you look pregnant, especially the first pregnancy. It'll take weeks before you even look pregnant, if at all. It might take months for some people. So you have to have the same kind of grace when it comes to starting a new workout routine. The key is consistency. It doesn't matter how small, just get into it and you start to feel better. But you start to feel better after maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, not 2 days. So don't give up if you don't feel instantly like a totally changed person. It takes time. Now, the other thing that I've really started doing that has made a big difference is monitoring how much sugar I eat. And you see, the thing is, sugar really is in everything. And if you watch any of these videos, people talk about giving up sugar for a year or a month or 30 days, whatever it is. It's not easy because it is in everything. And I've kind of come to this middle ground of, I don't need to completely eradicate everything sweet in my life, but dramatically cutting down on how much sugar I consume has changed my life for sure, because I was going on these crazy, blood sugar cycles. So let me explain. I think we drastically underestimate how little sugar we need to overeat sugar, right? And to create a glucose spike. So if you don't know, when you consume sugar, and we'll just say like in candy or in soft drinks or something like that, those are the worst, right? Because it's just pure sugar that immediately goes into your bloodstream, versus like a banana or something, which is still full of carbohydrate and sugar and will still give you a blood glucose spike, but it takes a bit longer, right? If you consume straight on sugar, so candy or whatever, you probably could have, like, if we're taking jelly beans, maybe 1 jelly bean, maybe 2, before you would see a dramatic increase in the glucose, in the sugar in your blood, if you were monitoring it with a continuous glucose monitor, which is something that diabetics use, and also like regular people now too. We grossly underestimate, because like a serving size is probably like a little packet of that, or a cup of it, or whatever it is, and so we overeat all the time. And when you eat sugar, it's an addiction that makes you eat more sugar. And let me tell you, once you get off that roller coaster of not being a slave to sugary things, sweet things and carbs, so pizza, pasta, bread, all of those things, you are free. You are so free to live your life. You feel better, you sleep better, you're not constantly snacking, you probably save a ton of money because you're not buying all the stuff that's terrible for you. You're also actively increasing your lifespan, because every time you have a glucose spike, you slowly age, essentially, you're just aging, and you just realize how superfluous sugar is in society and how difficult it is not to eat it. So for example, I got myself a continuous glucose monitor. It's something that I wear on my arm. I don't use it all the time. I'm not diabetic, but I have an app on my phone that will track. So when I eat something, it takes about 2 hours to metabolize, depending on what it is, and it will show me how much of a spike I had like a bagel with some healthy fats, like I think it was like avocado and maybe some chicken or something on it, like protein, fat. Like I know all these important things, but the bagel was too big for my body. You know, it was too much, and I had this massive spike. And what happens is, and why I care, is when your blood glucose goes up really high, what goes up must come down, and then you have this slump. And we're talking all about energy, right? This is what this whole video is about. You don't want the slump, because the slump means you need to take a nap, but you can't take a nap because you need to care for your children. Then you're grumpy, you're crabby, you're sleep deprived, you're just not a nice person to be around. Then you feel guilty about not being the best version of yourself around your children, and the whole cycle just continues, right? So this is why you want to keep your blood sugar as stable as possible. Now, exercise really helps with that, because your muscles need glucose to keep going. The more you exercise, the more they will burn that blood sugar in your blood. So if you did want to eat a bagel, I'd recommend eating half of a bagel or a quarter of a bagel, because that's probably all you need and all you can manage. Then you go for a walk after that, or you've had a walk just before. It's going to absorb all of that carbohydrate from the bagel, and then you're not going to have this big crash. If you want me to go into more detail about this, I absolutely can. I also have some resources that I have been following that I can put in the description box, that you can go and do your own research and find out what helps you. But essentially, I don't think moms eat enough, and I think we need to be eating a lot more proteins, a lot more fat, a lot less refined carbohydrate in our meals, and this is going to help us feel so much better and more energetic. I've also noticed, even when I'm eating really well in terms of just keeping my blood sugar nice and steady, I do have like a slump at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think it's just the natural circadian rhythm, but it's nothing as bad as I've ever experienced before. And I know that, you know, if my food is pretty consistent, perhaps it's because I haven't had enough sleep, or my hormones are requiring me to slow down. It's just a great data gathering tool for me to know where I need to put more emphasis on, or where I need to take a break. And yeah, it leads me to the sleeping thing, which I've spoken about a lot. I've done a lot of videos on bedtime routines and sleep, and just routines for your day. So you can have a look down in the description or in the cards. But essentially, going to bed earlier is always gonna, you know, do wonders for you. And if you pair that with how you are eating and movement, you're gonna feel like a different person. So what do you think about all of this? Does it sound overwhelming? Is it too much? Is it really simple? Is it stuff that you are doing already? I would love to know. Let me know in the description box. And as always, I am here to hop on a call if you want to discuss this more. I'm not a nutritionist, but I am someone that is very interested in health and wellness, feeling the best that I can in the context of young parenting and childhood. And I feel like it's not spoken about enough online and just in general. So if you are interested in having a call and chatting and learning more about your specific goals, make sure you send me a message and we can set up a time to chat. And make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Share this video for anyone that may benefit, and I will see you in my next one.